ಬಟ್ ಈಗ ನಾವು ಗಮನಿಸ್ತೀವಿ ಸಿದ್ಧಾಂತಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತನಾಡಿದಾಗ ಲೆಫ್ಟು ರೈಟು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಇಂತಹದ್ದು ಭಾರಿ ಕೇಳಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರತ್ತೆ. ಒಬ್ಬ ಯುವಜನತೆ ಇಂಥದ್ದೊಂದು ಸಿದ್ಧಾಂತ ಅನುಸರಿಸೋದು ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅನಿಸುತ್ತಾ ತಮಗೆ?
See, all these luxuries are for people whose stomachs are full. Still, unfortunately, in this country, 300 to 400 million people are still malnourished and their stomachs are not full. Many people, children are going to school without being fed properly. Farmer is going to the field without being fed properly. Pregnant woman carrying another life, not properly nourished. You're producing a disaster by this. When this is the condition, I think everybody should keep their stupid philosophies aside and see, first of all, to see as a nation that at least we are well nourished. Other things are secondary. Every human being in this country must be well nourished. Is it possible to do that? Absolutely. Absolutely it's possible if all of us have a heart which is beating. If we think, if my child goes to bed today without eating, what does it mean to me? How will I feel? If that much emotion is there within you, we can fix it in a very brief time.
ಆದರೆ ಈಗ ಇತ್ತೀಚೆಗೆ ದೇಶ ಜನರಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಂದುತ್ವದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಬಹಳ ವಿಪರೀತ ಅನ್ನೋಷ್ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮಿಟಿಗಳು ನಾವು ಗಮನಿಸ್ತಾನೆ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಜನಸಾಮಾನ್ಯರ ನಡುವೆ ತಿಕ್ಕಾಟಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ತರಹದ ವಿಚಾರಗಳು ಕಾರಣ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂತಾರೆ. ಈ ಹಿಂದುತ್ವ ಅನ್ನೋ ಶಬ್ದದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ ಏನು ಅಂತ?
See, when you say Hindu, you must understand it's a geographical identity. Anybody who lives in this land between Himalayas and Indus-Sagara, this is Hindu. All sorts of people have lived here. In the same house, if 5 people are there, we are worshipping 5 different gods and we have no problem. So essentially a Hindu means an inclusive culture where we don't have absolute beliefs about anything. We are always seekers, exploring. We are people who are always questioning anything and everything. Even when so-called divine entities came, we only asked questions. I think this should not be just the way of the country, this should be the way of the world, whatever you want to call it. But this aspect that you leave your absolutism and willing to accept everybody as they are and willing to explore new possibilities, this is naturally coming in the world. Youth are already in that mode. In another 25–30 years, you will see this fundamental principle that nothing is absolute, everything is open to question, will begin to happen. This was the way of this land. If that is what people are branding as Hindutva, definitely that is needed. If you want to call it by some other name, call it by some other name. I think a liberal approach to life. When I say liberal, I'm not talking about people who are using liberal as an identity. I'm saying genuinely using the word liberal. That means how you are, I respect that. I don't expect you should be like me. This much everybody should come to. If everybody comes to this, then if that is what you call as Hindutva, because that is what the Hindu way of life always represented, that's why we bred so many religions here, all right? We bred so many religions here, and at any given time, nobody in any given house was even worshipping the same god. They were all worshipping different gods, celebrating different things. There was never an issue. We must create that country. Only if we create that country will we become a cultural leader of this world, because the whole world is looking for this. Right now, in United States, 32% of the population writes in all applications, no religion. 26% of the UK population is writing, no religion. This is the way forward. Everybody is going to be there, 80% of the population will be there in another 30 years' time. 80% of the population will say no religion. But will they be free of questions? Will they be free of the thirst to know? Will they be free from need to identify with something? No, those things will be there. Those things need to be addressed as it is relevant to the current generation and the future generations. That's what we are trying to bring about, that you don't have to belong to this or that, where there are absolute answers. There is no absolute to life. Life is an evolving process. Do you want to evolve or do you want to be stuck in your absolutism? This is the choice we have. Thank you.
ಈ ಈ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದೇ ತಮ್ಮ ಪೂರಕವಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಕೇಳುವಂಥದ್ದು ಧರ್ಮ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿ ಅಥವಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿನ ದೇಶದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲದರಿಂದ ವಿಮುಖರಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಅಂತ ಪೋಷಕರ ಆತಂಕ ಇದೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಉತ್ತರಿಸ್ತೀರಿ, ಹೇಗೆ ಬಲ ತುಂಬ್ತೀರಿ ಅಂತ?
See, if our children are losing it, that means we have not set a good example. That's why I told you, as soon as I saw you, I said, look at the way you dressed. I bow down to that because this is important. Right now, when the temperatures are 35 to 40 degrees, you wear a jacket and a tie and walk around, doesn't make any sense to me. Why are you setting such an example? Because somewhere you think things that come from another culture are superior to who we are. No, that's not how it is. This is a relevant culture. This is a kind of culture which will be relevant after 1,000 years also, because it's an evolving culture. There is no absolutism.
ಇದು ಏಷ್ಯಾನೆಟ್ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತಿ.
ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಏಷ್ಯಾನೆಟ್ ಸುವರ್ಣ ನ್ಯೂಸ್.